I just have a short one. I remembered what it was.
Okay.
I just want to thank everyone for this. January was School Board Appreciation Month. We got a lot of gifts, pens, pencils, cups, that $100 gift certificate. Thank you very much. And we just had lunch at Pierce this week for School Board Appreciation, and it was very nice. They assigned students to us to walk us in and be our guide and show us where the food line was. I remembered kind of from when I was there a long time ago. It looks much better now. But they have a salad bar. Middle school with a salad bar, it's really cool. And some of the greens were made at Pierce. They were grown there, and they're mixed. I can't comprehend that per se, but it was a very nice event. I just want to thank everyone that was involved for inviting us and for all the gifts, especially that $100 gift card. So thank you.
Thank you. I just want to point out for the full board again, I did go with free legal advice from the Michigan Association of School Board. They clearly say that the majority of the board supersedes any bylaw. That's a free legal advice, but clearly when I hear attacks from board members on individual board members or administrators or staff or public that say there are a lot of violations, then I clearly will say that then we'll get a real legal advice so that you're not taking my opinion. We'll get a legal opinion on how we control our bylaws. Clearly, I will stand here till the day I can no longer sit here and say majority does rule. That's what a board is. It's not 1, 2, or 3. A majority does rule. Enough of that. I just want to end. I was so happy to see this Taco Tuesday flyer, and I just want to compliment the staff and volunteers and whoever, because so I'm like, okay, like what are they doing? So learn about many advanced, accelerated, extracurricular, and just plain cool learning. Learn how to prepare your student for their upcoming PSAT and SAT. Having trouble getting your parental support? Supporting reading at home. Understanding your child's math. That's just a fraction of Taco Tuesday. On Tuesday, February 6th at 6 to 7:30, it's basically an open sessions, and you go to whatever session most attracts you. So, Keith, I don't know who was behind it, but we'll give everyone full credit.
Front row right here.
So, thank you. Are there any audience comments on
Would you mind if I do board reports?
Did I skip you?
I apologize.
Sorry.
No problem. If that's all right, if I do that now?
Yeah. Please.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Just a couple quick, wonderful things happening in Waterford that I just wanted to make sure that we share. Last board meeting and the board meeting prior to that, we had some of our performing arts superstars come in. There are so many in the district, and 12 Angry Jurors who were here. That is tonight through Sunday at Waterford Kettering in the PAC. And Little Shop of Horrors is this weekend and next weekend at Mott. We also have, in addition to the high schools, we have our Peter Pan Jr. taking place at Mason Middle School, and that is February 8th and 9th, as well as Parent Engagement Night that folks have talked about, where even the dashboard that we learned about tonight will be presented at Pierce. And then we have coming up the Backyard Battle, which is always an amazing opportunity to get out and see kids from both high schools, both boys and girls basketball, participating at a beautiful venue at Oakland University, and that is Saturday the 10th. So some great opportunities to kind of brush away the winter doldrums, get rid of your cabin fever, and get out and just see some amazing productions and some amazing kids performing and playing sports and doing the things that make us so very proud. In addition to that, I know we have so many teachers, and again, I'm so humbled that you are here on your evening when you work such long hours and you have to grade papers and all of the things that go into being the stellar teachers that you are. But we have something that came for Board Appreciation Month, and all of the gifts and the luncheon at Pierce. We're so incredibly honored and privileged to serve in this role, and thank you for all that you did for us during the month of January. One of the quotes that came in front of us was a Maya Angelou quote, which is one of my very favorites, and it says, "I think a hero is any person really intent on making this a better place for all people." And so I extend that to all of you because that's what you do day in and day out for the children of our school community. In addition, I do want to just make a couple notes here. I know that it's been stated a couple times. I recognize that we do not work for the administration. If I left anyone with that impression, that was certainly my mistake. It is a privilege and an honor to work for the Waterford community. We work for the Waterford community as stewards of the Waterford School District. Always, always, always with the intent to provide the very best opportunities for the students of the Waterford School District to learn and to grow. To do this, we do need to partner with our administration. And as a board, I think, and me personally, I recognize that we cannot demand your respect. It must be earned. It is earned through our mutual respect of one another and the administration, one another here on the board and the administration that we need to partner so closely with. I apologize because in my deeply humble opinion, we did not earn your respect tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. I do have better news, which I'm probably still on Keith's thunder, but most of us in this room know that the state took retirement money from you, staff who are underpaid. Instead of returning it to you, they returned $3.8 million, close to the Waterford School District, and I think Bill's group is ready to make sure that gets back to staff by early next month. So look forward to, a little Valentine's shopping. So now, is there anybody in the audience who would like to comment on any non-action items? Great. With that, Superintendent's report, Dr. Wunderlich.
Thank you. It's very difficult to sit here and not jump in at various times throughout the meeting, and it's really difficult to know where even to begin with some of the things that have been said at this meeting and before. So much innuendo, distortions of truth, and outright lies. I've sat here and been professional this past year, but I cannot allow my integrity and my character to be assassinated. I hear from many, many people who say I shouldn't allow this attack on me, my staff, or the school district. This is my 40th year in education. I worked my way from teacher to beginning administrator to school principal to central office, and now my second superintendent position. I didn't get here by doing a bad job, so don't believe it, no matter what you hear. On the other hand, I do see a fundamental difference in opinion, because I have one board member who thinks my job is to serve the board. So, Waterford students that are watching, I want you to ask yourself a question. Waterford staff here and watching, ask yourself a question. Moms, dads, grandmas, grandpas of the community, ask yourself this question. Do you want me spending my 40 years of experience in education meeting the needs of one person on the board, or would you like me to meet the needs of 9,500 students and 1,600 staff? The last 40 years, I've always been here for kids. As I moved into administration, I knew that my influence came through staff members and giving them the tools they need to do the work for kids. Now I find myself doing totally unrelated things that aren't related to our kids and staff. I'm responding to Foia requests that were mentioned earlier. We've had 3 such formal requests from one board member recently and multiple other requests for information not in Foia form. If the board as a whole needs information, of course, that makes sense. When one board member continually requests information that redirects staff time away from serving students, it makes no sense. Many of these information requests take quite a bit of time. You heard about one today portrayed as 5 reams of paper. Is that what you want us doing instead of continually improving the education of our students, your sons and daughters? Tonight we get a demand to add another meeting every month. And you hear, well, don't prep, let's just discuss, and I don't believe that for a second. When the objective is to make us look bad, we can't walk in unprepared. So we'll spend hours preparing. Again, serving one person on the board rather than serving our students. Just for a minute, let's look at the request to discuss the budget. And on the surface, it sounds pretty reasonable. But the February count is on the 14th. That is for next year's funding, so it's an extremely important number for us to know, and it's not accurate and certified until weeks after the count. Our finance folks are working on a few other things. You heard about some of them already, returning the 3% from the ORS to staff. W-2s are out, the 1099 forms are being worked on. We have a brand new financial software from Open Schools. We're preparing the summer construction projects that got the applause this evening. And you might know that there's a brand new 2018 tax structure that we have to learn as well. So staff, hope it's okay that we delay that 3% ORS payout, and maybe payroll in general, because I got to redirect the finance folks to work on some things for the board.
Wow.
Parents of Haviland, Houghton, Mason students, we might not have the things promised and ready for you by next school year because we're getting things ready for a portion of the board.
Wow, shame on
I have
you.
no problem working with the board and discussing with the board those things we're working on right now. Great time to talk about the 3% refund from the ORS. A great time to talk about the new open school software that impacts HR and business. A great time to talk about the results of the school funding collaborative, and that is on the agenda for next time. And a great time to review this year's budget, as John has suggested. That's how a board and district administration work together to discuss those things that are active and current. And that's how a board gets a deeper understanding of the thousands of things impacting the operation of the school district every day. It's premature to discuss next year's budget without the February numbers and without an indication of our state aid. The governor did say in the State of the State address it's going to be the biggest increase since he's been in office. We looked it up. The biggest increase was $235. So upwards of that, if that's true, we've got nothing to discuss. Our budget will be great. If it's not true, I don't believe in needlessly scaring staff, students, and parents with worst-case scenarios that inevitably don't happen. It's an election year. This will be a good year for education funding. If things are being done so poorly in Waterford, would we have a fund balance of over 5%? That 5 years ago was 1%, and we've closed schools, lost students, and got to that state-mandated level, and it's continuing to grow. If things are being done so poorly in Waterford, would that new parental portal that was presented this evening show that our progress against those of similar schools exceeds all those other schools at 11 of our 13 schools, and forgetting those of similar demographics, in terms of state averages, 10 of our 13 schools exceed those. At the end of each month, I send out a soup scoop print edition noting all the great accomplishments that you and your students have done. This time that came out yesterday, Girls Who Code, DECA Awards, Waterford Rotary and Metro North Federal Credit Union, Grayson, celebrating reading excellence. Corsairs Boys Basketball in first place in the conference. Waterford Kettering Bowler bowling 300. Super Spellers, Mott graduate Chris Pooley being named upcoming music director for American Idol. Great, great things going on all the time. Just in the first semester of this year, I have recognized hundreds of those things going on as great accomplishments in the school district. The Waterford School District is a great school district. And it's a great school district because the people who lead it on a daily basis are committed to its success. It's a great district because the staff who work with our kids every day are committed to their success. And I will stand in the way of distractions that take them away from their goals. And it's a hill I am very willing to die on. Let me make one clarification about our academic success. Although we've come a very long way, no one thinks we're where we should be and could be. Even as we top similar schools and exceed state averages, we don't think the state averages are all that good. We must and we will continue to do better. If board members would like to be part of the conversation, I'll speak for central office in saying we would welcome a civil, constructive discussion of what's worked and what hasn't. If one person on the boards wants to embarrass and attack, I will prevent participation in that type of destructive activity. And I thank you for highlighting that bylaw that allows me to do it. Remember, this is a hill I'm very willing to die on. During 2017, in spite of the things that have happened at this table, the district has accomplished incredible things. Finances are in great shape. We gave raises to all our employee groups. Scores are up. Schools were recognized for statewide and national academic success. Great programs like junior kindergarten STEM and coding opportunities have been expanded. I think we could accomplish even more together. It would be great to work together with the entire board to serve the 9,500 students and 1,600 staff of the Waterford School District. But it must be a collaborative approach, not a gotcha approach. Let me assure the families watching tonight that while these meetings may not be great examples of how to get things done, our administrative, instructional, and non-instructional staff actually perform very effectively together. You heard just a few of the recent accomplishments tonight. We have a great school district with wonderful staff members and great students accomplishing amazing things every single day. And I promise I will do everything in my power to protect them and our staff that serves them and allow them to continue on our path to greatness. Thank you. Mr. President. Thank you very much. Yep, it's adjourned.